Alright, so we have a performance review of Hitman World of Assassination for you all on the Switch 2, and this is a game I know inside and out, so naturally I was really curious to see, could it stand up to the other platforms? So in this one, I'm going to be looking at a few things, but namely the visuals with a load of comparisons against the PS5 build that I'll be running throughout the video in the background. We'll have a look at the frame rate, a weird audio issue that I faced and how I fixed it, so you can maybe do that too if you're having it. And finally, one other problem. Basically, I've got some things to say about this one, so let's get into it. Alright, before we do start, if you enjoy this review, do me a favor, hit subscribe. This channel's been around for nearly 7 years now, with hundreds of Switch 1 reviews and deals videos, and now we are back to daily content for Switch 1 and Switch 2. So if you want to see more reviews, performance tests, all that good stuff, subscribe, support a small channel, it really does help. So for this one, let's call it a stress test. I honed in on 6 levels that I consider some of the most demanding. That's Italy, Miami, Mumbai, Dubai, Berlin, and China. These were chosen because they are a good mix of everything. Massive draw distance in Dubai, huge crowds in Mumbai, and visual effects galore in places like the nightclub in Berlin. The rest I'd consider a solid blend of really these 3 factors. I do, however, want to say in advance, so for those that may not know, this is generally a fantastic game, and I urge everyone to give it a go at some point. Whether on the Switch 2 or not, you can make that call after this video, but the concept is incredible. You play as Agent 47, you're thrown into these sandbox locations with really a single goal: assassinate your target. Now how you do it, that's entirely up to you, and that's where this game excels. Be creative, use the environment, be silent, or go all guns blazing. It is completely your call. On top of that then as well, with this release, there's just a ton of content, elusive targets, bonus missions, and a main story that stretches across the contained trilogy here. And that goes from working for an agency to being on the run. There's really a bit of everything for both action and stealth fans. Now though, let's start with the good, and visually, I actually think it looks very good, as you've probably seen so far from the comparisons on screen. You know, looking at sacrifices, I think it's clear that lighting has been scaled back, understandably so, but still, the fact that it's this close is a testament to how well this has been developed for our favourite handheld. What impresses me even more though is that the entire world is still intact. I went in kind of expecting smaller crowds, you know, fewer environmental objects perhaps, basically that the world would feel emptier, and that's not been the case. What you're getting here, again, definitely scaled back. Can't deny that. Things like the resolution, for example, not quite as sharp. But again, everything is still here, and scenes like Dubai and Miami, they still impress. I also did notice a few visual tricks have been removed, for example in Dubai, and I believe in Hitman 3 generally. When you stand still, the camera actually pulls back. It reveals more of the environment, more of what's around you. That's not the case in the Switch 2 build. And in some of the bigger locations with those huge crowds, you will notice, if you're looking for it, I will say that, you probably wouldn't notice, but characters further away, they are running at a lower frame rate. It is a common trick, and honestly, it makes sense in a world this big. So basically, look, visually, I can't help but be impressed. You know, the raining China with neon signs everywhere, Dubai in its scale, the crowds of Mumbai, all here, and still seriously impressive. I will, however, note at this point very quickly, because this might just be a me problem, but when I first started the game, it just didn't look right. Blacks in particular looked crushed, and I found the fix was actually to jump into the settings of the system and turn off the 2 HDR options you'll find there. Now, no doubt I probably just need to tweak it properly, but okay, new system, new problems, you might be seeing it too, so I did want to highlight it here because the game itself has 0 graphical options. And while we're on, let's say, weird quirks, I also had an audio bug. Now, in Dubai, my first map, you scale the building before reaching a window, and I dropped down as normal. Take a look at this. Now, I've played the game before, and that might sound fine to you. The thing is, the game should tell you what to do here. I knew what to do. I was actually walking around though, trying to trigger an audio line that will tell you to equip your camera. It just didn't happen. Now this then was reinforced a few moments later. Oh, take a listen to this.
I'm in position. Understood.
So as you can see here, I'm actually responding to no one. So just to give you an idea of what both of these scenes should play out like, take a listen to this.
Locked. 47, use your camera and scan the lock, will you? I think I can override the Windows controls from here.
I'm in position.
47, the inauguration is taking place close by. Once you've infiltrated it, get your bearings. I'm sure there must be floor plans somewhere.
Understood.
We need absolute focus on this one.
Now, I will say here, this could definitely be a system issue, but if you jump into the options menu, quick easy fix, change the audio setting here from system to stereo. Now you'll get that audio. And those lines of dialogue, as simple as they sound, they're incredibly important, not just for the narrative, but they're essential for new players because they are what are often guiding your hand through the experience, almost telling you what to do. Now though, let's get to the frame rate, and it's unlocked and you definitely feel it. I know for some that is not a factor, so to you I say respect. Go enjoy the world of Hitman, you will not regret it. But for many, like me, it plays a big part in how much I enjoy the experience, and here it's uncapped and all over the place. Now for the majority, you're going to get around 30 FPS it seems, but it can climb as high as 50. I never expected 60, but it honestly impressed me in spots like the crowds in Mumbai holding above 30 and Berlin, where I was shocked to see it stay relatively steady on the nightclub floor. Nice work there basically, but you will find some sharp drops too. So just so you know at this point, I've got a fair bit of frame rate footage, so I will leave you with that here, but these scenes are all coming up in the video. But the biggest problem location I found was Dubai. It nearly crumbles. There's an art exhibition with these like white cubes, and here, yeah, it goes through the floor. We're talking nearly sub 20 and it feels like stop motion. You'll actually see me struggle with movement on screen right now. But what does this mean? Well, look, the good news, I guess, is I stress tested with the most intense levels and it nearly survived bar Dubai. Now, look, sure, I don't particularly like unlocked frame rates, but it's playable, except for that one particular room. Now, is it a perfect port, basically? Most sadly, not quite. Still, there's a lot of game here. Multiple hits across each location, and yeah, basically a ton of content for your cash. But now one final issue, very quick one. I did have a single hard crash. I played for about 2 hours, but I still want to put it out there. It did unfortunately happen. So look, in summary, I knew Hitman World of Assassination on the Switch 2 was one of the most ambitious ports. And look, the world's intact, the mood's still there, and for the most part, it's surprisingly playable, even in some of the busiest areas. But it's far from perfect. Those frame rate swings can be rough, there's the odd audio quirk, and yeah, I got a hard crash. Now, if you're someone who can't deal with an inconsistent frame rate, this probably isn't the way to experience 47's world. And if you're willing to suffer through the Dubai art gallery of frame rate death, then yeah, there's still a ton of game here. And yeah, it's really easy to get wrapped up in 47's shenanigans. Just again, I guess, know what you're getting into. So will you be picking it up? Let me know in the comments. And again, subscribe if this helped you out. It's seriously appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers all.